Okay. So, hue intensity. Intensity means the quality of brightness or purity of a color. And on this worksheet, let's see, someone tell me, what do we have right here? What color is this?
Purple.
Are we going to paint this?
Purple. Green. Red.
Red. What color does this say?
Green.
Green. What do we know about red and green? What are they?
Color.
They're complementary colors. What do you think we're going to do all in between here?
Color.
It's gonna get weird, okay? It's gonna make some ugly, shades of brown, but we're gonna learn a lot because we are going to work on a complementary painting next week. It would be helpful if I had paint. What you're going to do first is start with yellow. Okay, we're gonna start with yellow because that's our lightest paint. So I'm gonna get a palette.
Really?
Yes, we're going to start with yellow and paint the yellow right in that box.
I got water on my face. Are we painting the red box?
Not yet. Start with yellow.
Why do we start with the brightest color?
It's all going to make sense. Oh, Arturo, I'm going to have you sit with Valerie and share paint. All right. So again, like we always do, if you got a dry brush, dip it in water, make sure it's clean, dab off the extra water. And I just want to start with the yellow in this first box. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take some of this yellow, and remember you need enough for you and your partner. We get a few scoops of this yellow and set it to the side. We want to keep our yellow over here pure. And I'm going to mix myself some orange. How do you make orange?
Red. Purple.
Red. So I start with, a little baby dot of the red first. And I mix it into the separate yellow. I always want to keep my primary colors clean over here on the side. Got myself an orange right here. Maybe a little more red in there.
So we add red until it makes orange?
Yes, you're mixing orange. You always want to start with yellow and then mix the red into it so it's that lighter color. And we're going to paint orange right here in that first box. Remember, this is a great time to practice
Painting in the line.
painting in the lines, yes.
So should I have more red?
Sure.
Green.
Or
Oh my gosh.
what is the complement of orange?
Blue.
Blue.
Wait, why did we go from yellow to orange, not red, yellow? Why are we doing that extra? My nose.
Okay. I'm going to clean off my brush really good. Just dabbing off that extra water, you know, just a little damp. You don't want to soak up this page. And then we're going to paint this box on the right blue, this one all the way over here. Because orange and blue are complements, they're opposites. Now this time we're trying out all 3 of these ranges of intensity. Okay, last time we just did yellow on that value scale. But now you're going to practice with all 3 of these because
This is how
if I'm talking, you're not talking. So next week, when we start painting our complementary paintings, you get to choose those complements. You gotta justify it to
Can I
me.
use gray and black?
Are those complements?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
All right. Now, we have orange here, we have blue here, and we need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 7 different hues in between. My mask has like fuzzies in it, and I'm always like they keep getting my eyes in the mask. It's messing me up, okay? So I'm going to clean that brush once again. Make sure it's nice and clean. Okay. It's gonna be crazy. Are you guys ready for this?
Wait.
I'm gonna show you, don't worry. Okay. Now, eyeballs up here. I need to put a teeny tiny baby dot of blue into the orange.
Oh.
Look up here. Look how microscopic that blue is. It's tiny.
Oh my god.
It's like a little baby, I know. And I'm gonna mix that into the orange. Whoa. Holy moly, look at that. It's like a homemade color. Yeah, I'm gonna wipe off the extra, and then I'm gonna paint that right here. Probably should have mixed in even a little bit more blue into that one, but when it dries, we'll really be able to see that difference in the colors. I put a baby dot of blue into the orange. Lisa, what do you think I'm gonna do to get this value here? Yeah, add another little dot of the blue into the orange. Ooh, it's starting to look kind of green.
Girl, it looks like gold. It's phone driving slow down.
I hear a lot of chit chat. I think that means that we're all ready for me to move on.
No, we're not. Everyone shut up. It doesn't even, it's just no.
So each value in between here and here, I'm just going to keep adding one more dot of the blue into the orange. So one more blue into the orange.
Man, that should look like apple.
Bro, just like.
One more dot until we get all the way to the pure blue. So each time I'm just adding one more dot of blue into the orange to get a full range of intensity. It's normal for it to start looking kind of blue. Does anyone want to take? Anyone want to take a guess why it looks kind of green?
It's
Yellow.
It looks like chocolate. Yeah.
One at a time. I'm gonna call on. I'm gonna call on Linda. Why is it starting to look kind of green? Yeah, because we got yellow in that orange. Those opposite colors are starting to cancel each other out. So each time, one more dot of blue into the orange.
Oh, nice. This is how
I want to choose.
Is this like the same as my other one? That shit is looking like
One more dot.
Why is it?
And my last value, one more dot of blue.
It looks like green.
Okay. Yeah. There's my value range. I'm gonna walk around and see how we're doing. We can wrap the rest of those up in 2 minutes.
Nah, you couldn't use for them. Oh, we're doing the same thing. Except yeah. Yeah, okay.
Bro, this shit's so stupid. Sorry, can I word with you? Should do a last one. It's not how much exactly the same. Yeah. Why does it look so much just like that? Oh, but the color is one of the go What is this? The orange too? So like this is like there's stuff on these brushes that you really use to plug into it. Like you'll lift it on and no, but it's better to mix it because all the tea goes on the bread. Oh, we can use this one. Look at this one. Look at Don't look it over. Don't worry about it. Here we go.
Zach, what is it that you're doing in this class?
I asked the class if I can
I want to see you working.
You don't work.
Ricardo.
Why are they AP students in this class?
Usually Ava, but Ava's not here.
So, I got it. You're covering all the way until this class. You like that?
I had them next year. It's getting more and more than my life.
Oh, yeah. I've been wheeling and dealing on
Oh, really?
artwork on the principal's office, on the laying out something. Are those the supplies? No, those are the oh, they're the portfolio. No. Where are I cleaned up a little bit. Washed all of that out. Oh, no. Did we get that?
Oh, Maddie was fine with it.
So I'm not here. I'm all over the place.
Okay,
Nice, very good. Okay. You take care. Go take care.
Aquí. Una vez.
Bro, shit.
Don't mix it in.
All right, let's wrap up. 30 seconds, a minute. Get the rest of those values down.
More yellow? This shit's really easy.
Okay, if you have finished that. Now, if you ended up with this sort of green color, you can put that right here under green. Brush, a little bit of green, put it right here.
Let me add that.
It should look pretty green. If you put a little extra blue and it came out, you know, maybe blue-green, you can make some new green. How do you make green? Blue and yellow. So if you need to make some new green, you can do that. But you always want to leave your primary colors clean. Now, right here on the left, what are we gonna put here? Yoo-hoo. What's the opposite of green? Red. It's its complement. So we grab a little bit of red. Make sure your brush is clean when you do that. Red.
Say we have a question.
And red. Yeehaw. Doesn't that just remind you of Mountain Dew?
So pretty.
The logo? No? Just like that. More like a Sprite person. Okay, who's ready for the next step? Give me a thumbs up. Alright. Now, clean brush. All the water off. I don't want to contaminate my primary colors. Nice and clean. I'm wiping off the extra water. And I'm just going to dab my brush on my paper towel. It's not soaking wet. I still have a lot of real estate on here on my paper towel. And now I'm going to put one dot of the red into my green. Little dot. Of the red into the green. Now don't paint this on your page yet. It's not going to go right here. One dot of red into the green, and we're going to put that right here. No, don't go ahead of me. That's what happens. I will keep you on your toes. How about that? That dot of red goes into the green. Dominic, how am I going to get this hue right here? What am I going to do next? What do you think?
A little bit of red.
Yep, little dot of red into the green again. A baby dot. It's a baby. Still has its baby teeth. Still, you know, I don't know. I give up on my analogy. Just one more baby dot of red. You get the idea. If it does look too similar, maybe you need just a little bit more of the red. A teeny, teeny, tiny little baby side of the red. Anyone want to guess what happens next? Elizabeth, right, another baby dot of red into our green. Now that we've been painting for a while, probably can notice that, you know, you can feel when you have too much water on the brush and maybe when you don't have enough. If you're always wiping off the extra water just on the edge of your cup and then getting all the extra paint off the sides of your brush, it's really going to help your paint flow and make the most of it, especially when you have a partner. You really want to make that paint last. Eric, what do you think is going to happen next?
Gonna start transcending into red,
Yes, but what should I do to get there?
a little bit more red.
A little baby dot of red.
That would be
Alex, I'll take a baby dot of red for 500. Some kids don't know Jeopardy? I'm just kidding, I didn't even watch it either. Baby dot of red into that mixture. Looking kind of brown. Y'all think you know what I'm gonna do next? Add another baby dot of red. It's like you can read my mind. Okay, and we're just gonna keep adding more red until we get to that last box right here. And my last baby dot of red. It's looking kind of burgundy.
This is like, no. Never mind, it looks like that. Oh,
Okay.
it's kind of cold.
I have it open for a reason, I'll be done in a sec.
Sorry.
That's alright.
Who needs
Oh my god.
one more minute?
Me.
I need, strong graphic.
I gotta catch up.
You can lift the boxes down. You want the nose. This one. Yeah, I'm gonna find you the bar, right? As long as I'm supposed to be. I don't know what it is. I know what my car is. They're all the same color. This one's a rainbow. I'm gonna hold it back here. But I made another.
It's alright, I should, would you mind putting the box here instead? Appreciate it.
30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's the same one.
Okay.
All right. Couple people, maybe need another 15, 20 seconds. Next, if you're waiting for our next color, we are going to mix some violet. Right on over here. How do we get violet? Red and blue. Alright, I want to scoop my red to the side first.
You tidied up and I'm gonna make more of a mess. Sorry.
So by now, you should kind of have an idea of how much paint you need for you and your partner, right, to get all the way to the other end. Christian, come on up if I call your name. Joanna, Maria, Vanessa, and Michaela. Let me see it. I'm not sure. Does it say to go now?
My says just at the beginning.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, go ahead, I'll have you for later. Let's finish this worksheet.
Alright. Now we're going to use the violet on this cone too. So make sure you're making a lot of violet, okay? Let me get red. And blue. Red and blue.
We're halfway through this?
Halfway, like finished with the violet.
Yes. Then
Yeah.
it's gonna be really hard to catch up with you. Well, wait, is your partner gone? Your partner just left? Then go ahead, you'll have to catch up, okay? Okay.
Alright, I'm mixing in that blue until I get a nice violet color. It's helpful to mix the blue into the red. So you get that shade of violet that you want. $11.28. That means you're stuck with me for another 30 minutes.
No, I think. Can I go right now? Because I want to see lots of content. I don't want to be the content of all three. Actually, no, never.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna do this a little bit differently than I did yesterday. I hope this works out. So I'm going to wash off this brush. Be nice and clean. Okay. Now, does everyone have enough yellow? Should I have 3 yellow? You don't have enough? Who doesn't have enough yellow? Everybody, you don't have enough yellow? Raise your hand if you don't have enough yellow.
I was looking for a color. It looks so dark, so I thought it was just black. I'm already thinking of. What's the reason?
Okay. Everyone's good on yellow. Okay. Now I'm going to bring up a cone example right next to this. Oh, I know where it is. There we go. Yeah. Okay. This is the yellow I'm gonna use. This is the violet I have mixed. Now, the yellow. Before I mix anything, we're going to use the yellow for the highlight along this cone. Y'all see where it says highlight on the cone? Next to mine? Highlight. There we go. Okay. We're going to use this yellow as the highlight on our cone. So I'm going to grab some of this yellow and paint it on the cone. Right where you see that highlight in the same area. Now, if you'll remember when we did the sphere, I asked you to paint in like a crescent, like a curved motion, like this. Because the cone is like a round surface. The sphere was round. We need to paint in the same shape or direction as our form. With the cone, we're going to put this highlight all along here. And I'm going to get a little bit more water on my brush to help my paint flow. And we're going to kind of like feather the highlight out and away from that main highlight. So kind of like a fuzzy highlight going all the way around the edges. Okay. Now, this is the violet that I'm going to use for this value scale down here. Okay. But the first thing that I want to do is take a little scoop of my violet, scoop some of this out, and I'm going to put it right next to it. Now, this little extra scoop of violet, I want to get some of the water from my cup and kind of add it in here. Helps it flow. So I just got like a little extra water on my brush, and I made like a separate little cup right here with some watered down violet. Real flow. I'm going to clean off my brush again because we are going to mix right into our yellow. So this next part, you really want to be careful that you don't use too much of this violet, okay? So next, I'm going to mix the color that goes right here. So eyeballs up here, all of those eyeballs up here. And I'm going to get a little tiny bit of my watered down violet. Always start with less. You can hardly even see it on there. Very, very little. Baby, 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 tiny bit. And mix that into the yellow. A tiny bit. If it's not enough, you can always go back for more. Okay. I had a lot of yellow right here, so I might just get a tiny, tiny bit more and mix it in. Okay, you're looking for something that is just like that next step, just a little bit less intense than the first yellow. And that you can paint in this box.
Oh my god. Is it time to go?
No.
Yes.
You're captive here until 11:20.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you can add it into the regular yellow. Now that same color that we have right here, the one that we just mixed, you can add it along the sides of this highlight. So I'm going right over the edges of the highlight again so that it blends together. No. No. So water to flow, and then adding on that second color to the edges of my highlight. Not the whole thing, but just around the little edges again. And a little water to help it flow and kind of feather along the edges. Now I'm going to get another little dot of my watered down violet to the stuff I set aside. And I'm going to mix that now to this color. If you're not seeing enough of a change, you can always go back and go for more violet. But you also start with that little baby dot and only mix in what you need. And once you've mixed that, we're going to add pepper. Paint it in right there.
Okay.
And I'm also going to blend that along the edges of this middle tone. You always kind of want to feather these edges out. I'm using the side of the brush and just kind of blending out to the edges. Now I'm not at the core shadow yet, but I'm just blending that over. All right. I'm grabbing more of this watered down violet. I'm a little more. And I'm mixing that into my yellow. It's looking like a dark gold right now. Put that in our box here. And that one I'm also just gonna feather right on top of these kind of mid-tones. We're starting to get closer to the core shadow, but I'm gradually blending over. And if it isn't blending, you might need to add some more water. Help it flow. Someone brings up that progressive lady again. I am not gonna be happy. She's annoying. Progressive. I don't even know what they're. I don't know why they have it. I don't like when she tries to sell me insurance. Alright, and I'm painting along this edge again. We're getting closer to the edge of this cone.
It's okay.
Ooh, we're making good time, people. Alright, I'm gonna get a little more of this violet now. Mixing into the gold. And that goes here in the center of our value range, the intensity range, I should say. And that's going to be one of the last hues that I can kind of fit right here on the side. On the right side of my tone. So I'm kind of painting it on there. And a little more on this edge. Now that same hue, I'm gonna put it right here on this edge. What do we call this edge that is like a little bit lighter? It's in the shadow. Who was that? Raise your hand. Yes, Liz. Yes. It's reflective. We can call it reflected light, but yes, it's right there in this core shadow area, just to the left. So I'm going to take that same color that I just mixed and add it along this edge. If you got a slip that said to go at teacher's convenience, I'm going to have you go in the last 10 to 15 minutes of class, and you're just going to have your partner clean up for you, okay? All right, let's kick it up a notch. So I'm going to get some more of my violet. Now you might want to start dipping into that regular violet now, not too watered down. Ready to get some of those darker values as we get on this side. And I'm adding it into my yellow mixture over here. For my next value. We did this a little differently with the other class, so I'm really excited to see how everyone's cones are turning out. Am I going to be impressed? Yes? All right, this color too. Now I'm gonna go in kind of like an upside down V right here between the reflected light and those midtones right here. So I'm closing in on this really dark area that I'm gonna have right there. Okay, now I'm starting to, pull from this pure violet right here instead of the watered down stuff. Get another dot of this and mix it in right here. Each time I'm going to add that to my intensity range up at the top. And I want to start getting closer in here to this core shadow. Now you've got a little reference cone right there on your paper too. Make sure you're looking at it. Where does it start to get really dark? How are you blending in those edges? Okay. So now we're here, the second to the last little box until pure violet. Now I'm going to get a nice scoop of this violet. And I'm going to mix it in to this color right here. And that's going to go right up here. And that's going to go right here in the core shadow. Remember, follow that same shape of the cone. You're going in like an upside down V. Who gives that? I've been doing this for a while. As you know, I am 53 years old. No, you're younger than me. All right. Now, we got violet right here, so make sure you've got a clean brush, and I'm going to put my pure violet in this last box over here. Now, raise your hand and tell me, where do you see a space on the cone that we haven't filled in yet? Raise your hand, please. Linda, the shadow, yes, the cast shadow. So I'm going to put my pure violet right here. And then the cast shadow right there. Mix in some of that pure violet. I'm really excited to see how these cones turned out. I'm going to put a little bit of that, I'm kind of layering that in my foreshadow if you need it. All right. How'd they turn out?
Terrible.
Okay, I'm gonna come check those out.
Wait.
Don't worry, I'm leaving it. We have 13 minutes. Okay, so take your time, finish up your spheres. I think Joanna and Eileen, is there anyone else who got a summons to go to right now?
What?
Alright.
10 more seconds.
So,
And there's no.
Eduardo.
Say that's no bueno.
So let this dry. This can go in your folder. And then Laura, actually, go for it. Very nice.
these are beautiful. We are our own worst critics. Oh, yes, the primary colors. If you have clean primary colors, leave them. One partner will dump out the water, the other partner will clean the palette. Wipe off your palette with paper towel first. Clean out those mixtures. Paper towel and baby wipe. Use a dry paper towel or kind of damp paper towel first to wipe out the paint, then use the baby wipe. This is great, you guys. Great start on the cone. Oh, that was easy. Maybe that one. So just clean out the mixtures. Ooh, these are good baby wipes. Can you pass this back? Please?
Thank you.
Jackie, can you pass it back to Taylor? Yes. Okay, is it for that? There you go. Oh, now you got it. Everyone get a baby wipe?
Looks like a 3-year-old.
I need a wet one.
Tomorrow. Before, do you need one?
No, like another favorite.
Yeah, you can come grab one. Yes.
Everything back.
Now, you all have homework. Huh? Bristles out of the water, please. Yeah, you have homework. Ooh.